Insta-Love catches a lot of grief in novels because typically it signifies that the author is a new author. They don't have a lot of experience and they kind of fall into some traps along the way as they're writing their story. But there is a way to do Insta-Love well, and not only well, but be well received by readers. So what is this magical little twist to Insta-Love? It's that it can't just be Insta-Love and then we go through the relationship. It's that when your characters are meeting, if they have not had enough time to properly get to know each other, they haven't gone on their adventures and done all of the things to eventually build up to that romance, and they see each other and they kind of fall for each other, which happens in real life, happens more than we think. You want to make sure that once they are together, when you connect them quickly, then you have to tear them apart. They need to not be with each other for a lot of the novel. I know it's really hard. It's one of those heartbreaking things. But if your characters are going to see each other and have that instant attraction, and they both agree that they kind of want to be together, they kind of want to see what's good, you can put them together, but then you must rip them apart. Because with any relationship, if you don't know someone very well and you get into that relationship, you are going to realize real fast that there are some things you need to work through. There are some things that you need to deal with. You're going to butt heads on some things. You're going to have some differences. And so if you get your characters together quickly, you have to explore those issues. You have to go through it like you would real life. So the problem with Insta-Love, when people do it the wrong way, is when they put them together and then they're just a couple. Like, it is what it is. Nobody had to fight to be in that relationship. They didn't have to win each other over. They didn't have to put the effort in. And that is going to get you bad reviews. But if you do it where they see each other and they decide they want to be together and it's a quick thing, then you need to get them apart. What is that big fracture inside of their relationship that they then have to work to put back together? So for me, one of the great examples that I have done, because I don't typically do Insta-Love, but one of the Insta-Loves that I have written is my Golden Trilogy. My characters, it's my Goldilocks retelling. So my Goldilocks character and my Baby Bear character are all people. They see each other, they like each other, and they kind of get together quickly. But then reality hits. So they had their little fluffy bubble of time for a very short period of time, and then I ripped them apart. They spent the entire first book trying to decide if they want to fight for each other, to stay together, to keep working on this. Do they need to separate? Like, it's a lot of work. So in any circumstance, your characters are going to have to work for their relationship. They work before to get their relationship. They work, if they've started in the relationship, they have to have some kind of break, some kind of fracture where they're pulled apart, and they have to work to come back together. My Conspiracy of Jack Frost might be a really good one for you to be looking at with that. But with that Insta-Love, if they come together quickly, they also have to work for that relationship. Relationships must be worked for. There must be effort. There must be trials and tribulations, things that are trying to keep them apart that they have to then decide, yes, I want to be with this person. I'm going to fight to get back to where we were, or to get to a point where we are together. We're going to have to fight for our relationship. So Insta-Love, if done poorly, is not so great. But Insta-Love, when done well, and it shows you the real life experiences of people being attracted and getting together quick and then having to deal with all that stuff after, whereas some couples deal with it before. As long as you go through the trials and the tribulations and the issues and you make them work and fight to be in that relationship and consider, even if it's something that they want, then you are going to do well with the relationship that you are creating. So it just depends on when you want your characters to do the majority of the work. Do you want it to be built up to get to be in a relationship? Do you want it to be they're already in a relationship, get ripped apart, and then have to fight to get back together? Or do you want that very quick attraction and then apart for a lot of the book, deciding if maybe they want to put the effort in to get back together? Insta-Love, there's a lot of feelings about it, but when done correctly, can be absolutely magnificent. But you've got to make sure you do it realistically. What happens realistically inside of these romances that are very fast? I want you to, if you're researching this, go and look at people who got married very, very quickly. There are some like big name TikTokers out there that met and got married like within a couple of weeks or a month, or even I think somebody was like 6 days of meeting their person. And they'll talk to you about how they knew it was the right person, and then they had to deal with a lot of stuff once they were married, once they were in that committed relationship, and they had a lot of work to do for that. Study what they say. Pay attention to those things. Listen to those stories on TikTok and on YouTube and all those places, because that'll give you a pretty good handle on how you have to rip them apart and the things that they need to consider on whether or not they want to be together. They should be together, whether or not they should be continuing down this path together, and what they're willing to do to see how that goes for them. So study, do it right, and then get a lot of feedback in your relationships as people are beta reading for you to make sure that it is a realistic view of that. Even if it happens quick, you can do it really, really well. It just depends on when you want to do the work inside of their relationship for you, for your readers, etc. And please know, this is not something that should be taken lightly. This is not an easy undertaking. So maybe write a different type of relationship first. Once you are a stronger writer, come into that. That's going to give you a lot more perspective on this and help you write a stronger novel, especially when it comes to that Insta-Love. I am not a huge fan of Insta-Love when done poorly, but man, when you do it right, if you do it right, you can do it right. So, questions on how to write your novels from somebody who is a multi-time best-selling author who is heavy in the romance that I write, and I'm more than happy to get your questions answered. Let me know what writing questions you have. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes as we continue to help you navigate the world of your publishing, from your writing to your publishing to your marketing, and make this your most profitable and fun author year ever. We'll see you in the upcoming episodes.